Gary, I want to ask you, for every dollar the Rolling Thunder Charities takes in, how much goes out in direct aid to our veterans?
Every dollar, 95 cents.
Out of every dollar, 90. So we only spend 5 cents for everything, all our costs and everything else.
Yes.
Thank you very much. 95%. And the president of Rolling Thunder Charities doesn't make $200,000 or $300,000 a year. He doesn't have a limo, etc., etc. Our next guest. Lynn O'Shea is sick, and she can't be here with us this year. And so, representing the National Alliance for Families is the head of research for said alliance for the return of America's missing servicemen. Her name is Nicolette Rose. And Nicolette, she's the daughter of the Covert National I can't read this. Come on. Come on up. This is Jennifer. Isn't she lovely? Say hi, Jennifer. Nicolette. I mean, excuse me, Nicolette.
Hi.
Okay. What's this? What's that word?
Current.
Current national chairperson, right?
Janella Apodaca Rose is my mom, and the national founder was Dolores Apodaca Alfond. That's my aunt.
Okay. Thank you very much. Nicolette, take it away.
So, as you can tell, I was not actually expecting to have to do this, and hopefully this doesn't fall over. 27 years ago, a group of Vietnam vets, POW family members, and concerned citizens did the first Ride for Freedom here in Washington, D.C. 25 years ago, my aunt Dolores Apodaca Alfond founded the National Alliance of Families for the return of America's servicemen. Before the official founding, okay, let's... Anybody? Bueller? Okay. It's going to be one of those weekends. So, where was I? Before the official founding of these groups, they were friends on a mission. I grew up in the POW-MIA issue. I watched my family and others take on the fight. I was always the little kid at events like this, or the one sitting at home watching it on C-SPAN, or watching Senate and Congress talk about POW-MIA issues. My uncle Victor J. Apodaca Jr. was shot down June 8, 1967. I never met him, but I knew I always wanted to grow up to honor him in any way that I could. I was likely the only kid in Montana, potentially the nation, who knew what Moscow bound meant, and who knew what a gulag was, because that's where my uncle was believed to be. I never asked Santa for a Red Ryder BB gun, even though I grew up in Montana and can hunt and fish. I always asked for my uncle to be returned, and for the rest of the POW and MIAs to be accounted for. Santa really didn't know what I was talking about. I usually was pretty okay at 6 years old, letting him know why he needed to care. I'm here today hoping no other child has to have these experiences. There is no doubt that Americans have been left behind. Compelling evidence was used to plan a rescue mission for Americans held live in Laos 6 years after the end of the Vietnam War. A new book entitled Abandoned in Place was written by the Alliance's head of research, Lynn O'Shea. I wish you could be here today to explain more about the book to you. But it details the plans of this rescue mission and why it never happened. An intelligence officer involved in the planning of the rescue called the book the most comprehensive and thoroughly researched compendium, private or government, classified or unclassified, about this complicated and emotional subject. I'd invite you to log on to the Alliance's website and Facebook page to learn more about the POW-MIA issues, to include Lynn's book, which is now available on Amazon, as well as invite you to the Alliance's 25th annual meetings held here in Crystal City on the 13th and 14th of June. I wish I could stand here and say that I was the last generation in my family to have to take on this fight, but I know I must keep the mission alive till everyone is accounted for and returned. My generation of vets now has Bo Bergdahl. He's ours that we have to care for and try and get home. When I returned from Iraq in '09, I visited my uncle's name on the Vietnam Wall. I told him that I was home safe, but unfortunately, we lost Bo. I thank you for being here, and I thank you for keeping the promise to never forget.
I'd like to just say something to you for a moment. You know, many of you served in the Vietnam War, and a lot of you came back and you said it was all for nothing. How many of you feel that way? Wow, not many. In fact, no one. I just want to emphasize that the entire time that you were in Vietnam, that you gave those people freedom. And that's what we all want, and we fight for, is to keep our freedom. So it was not totally in vain. And once a person has a taste of freedom, they never forget it. The reason I'm mentioning this is because this next song you're about to hear is called Freedom. And it just kind of rattled in my brain, and I just felt I wanted to say that to you as a woman who spent many months in Vietnam and years. Ben Mason is a songwriter who comes to us from the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Don't we love those Blue Ridge Mountains? Yes. Yes. This is his third performance at Rolling Thunder. And his first time was right here in 1991 when Billy Ray Cyrus was with us. Ben has 3 records out and is about to release his 4th CD, which features the lead guitarist from the Eagles. Ben will be doing this one song, Freedom, which is his new recording. There you are, Ben.
Thank you. This is for everybody. The ones who served, the ones who fell, the ones who support all of those people who served and who fell and who still serve today. It's from my father, who was in a sub-chaser in World War II. I had those 2 flags on my mic stand from his ship, Battle of Midway. It's for my grandfather, World War I, in the trenches. It's for my best friends who died in Vietnam. It's for people that ride motorcycles that understand the power of that bike. This is a song called Freedom. Freedom's a horse made of steel, but freedom is something that we fight for and that we earned and we deserve. God love you. God bless America. This is my song called Freedom. Freedom takes me over the river on a highway that cuts through the fields. She trembles and roars as I